how your buyer's agent is screwing you out of $5,000 to $10,000 and you don't even know it.
I follow this realtor, Bearded Realtor Utah. I really like his content. He really does tell it like it is. If you followed my page for any amount of time, you know that I do the same. This particular video is missing some important context. And as someone who represents buyers regularly, the way this is framed is honestly frustrating. Even in this video, he explains that he now primarily works as a listing agent. He tells his sellers that when an offer comes in, the buyer's agent is likely going to request a 3% commission and that he's going to instruct the seller to counter them at 2%. Then he says, watch what happens. The buyer's agent will simply raise the purchase price to cover their commission and end up costing their client $5,000 to $10,000. Today's buyers typically sign a representation agreement with their agent outlining the commission they agreed to pay. If a buyer's agent is asking for 3%, it's because that's the agreement that they have with their client. If the seller is only willing to offer 2%, then there's really only a few options. The agent can choose to reduce their commission to match what the seller's offering. The buyer can cover the difference themselves out of pocket, or the buyer can cover it by structuring it into the purchase price, raising the purchase price to compensate for the commission. And that decision is made between the buyer and their agent because they're the ones who have a signed agreement together. If I found someone their perfect home in 30 days, great, I would take 2% all day long. That's actually not how it goes most of the time, which probably is the reason this guy is primarily a listing agent. I've worked with clients 6 months, a year, 2 years. The longest I've personally worked with a buyer before they finally purchased a home was 5 years. So do you think after 5 years of showing properties every single weekend, a lot of gas, a lot of wear and tear in my car, a lot of time away from my family, that I would be jumping to reduce my commission to 2%? No. I could technically argue that one of the easiest roles in real estate is being the listing agent. What you have to do is hire a professional photographer, spend an hour and a half putting it on the MLS, maybe host a couple open houses, send out a few postcards, and wait for the buyer's agent, the one who's been driving their clients around town for months, sometimes years, to come look at the property and bring you an offer. That listing agent is also making 2%, sometimes up to 3%. The idea that the buyer's agent, the one who's doing all the legwork, showing homes, writing offers, negotiating deals, coordinating all the inspections, managing the entire process, including getting their client pre-approved, they should be the ones to simply reduce their commission to make the deal work. Name one other job where you ask someone to sign a contract, do the work, and then accept 2/3 of the pay they were promised. If a buyer's agent chooses not to reduce their commission and instead holds to the contract that was agreed to, that is a personal business decision. It is not a deceptive practice.